Say alright, so first and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakodash. We say that once a person elders agreements on that rule by the teachers or a person in truth, and we see how the teachers solely Akim, so they pushing within our truth and sincerity, day in and day out, and constantly in season of season, we say Shalom. Once again, going into our video here, and this basically touching upon people believing in fables. Now, this is something that you see with some of the teaching, some of the things that these people believe in is basically fables, right? Now, when you look up the word fable, right? It means a short story typically with animals as characters conveying a moral, right? Or it go back to myth and legend. It also states tell fictitious tales. Tell fictitious tales, right? You see, it comes from a story, right? But as you can see, it's a short moral story, especially one with animals as characters, a false, fictitious, or improbable account, fictition or lie, a story or legend about supernatural or mythical characters or events. Right now, what it sparked from was someone, I overheard someone talking about Lilith, and and that by itself is a fictitious tale. There's a story that they just try to say Adam had had a wife, and she turned and she get wings and all this. It's just basically a fable, right? Which again, fable goes back to what? A false, fictitious, or improbable account, if fictition or lie, and that is what is going. These people that believing in what? Be believing in lies, right? They want to talk about Lilith and many other stuff that has come with it. Like I heard a new one recently about Enoch turning into someone called Megaton or some around those some Megaton or some things like that. It sounds like something with a Transformers. You understand, right? But again, there's so much of deception outside here. People just don't even know what to believe in, but what they believe in is fables. They don't even believe in the word, right? And I was explaining to the person that was saying it. I say, yo, you all don't even read the scriptures to know what is right from wrong. So anything that all they hear, all they would believe and think is something true, right? And think it's something true when it's not. Because, there's been in myths, just throwing out a little two nuggets right here and there. And I was like, this here, and the person couldn't even understand. So I said, if you can't even understand this, so then why are you even speaking about that? But you see, they choose to believe in the lies. They rather believe in the lies than the facts. They rather believe in the fables, right? These fictitious stories, these improbable accounts, right? Than the truth, right? Than the truth. So let's go to the scripture here. This is the book of 1 Timothy chapter 1 verse 4, right? It says, neither give heed to fables and endless genealogies, which minister questions rather than godly edifying, which is in the faith so do. So as the scripture said, neither give heed to fables and endless genealogies, right? So why are you giving heed to fables? But again, these people, they rather believe in a lie than they believe in the accounts that was given unto us. Because speaking about Lilith and many other things that they speak about, where is that written in the scriptures? How is that edifying here? How is that going to, as I say, rather than it say, neither give heed to fables and endless genealogies, which minister questions rather than godly edifying, which is in the faith so do, which rather than godly edifying, which speaking talking about that and Meglaton or whatever it is, how is that godly edifying? How is that going to bring any edification onto you or onto someone listening? And that is basically what went on, because they were saying it in a group of people, and when they said it so confident, like they said it so confident, like if it's something true, right? And what it did, it ministered more questions than answers, right? And everybody that was the people who was wrong hearing it, they was like, nah, I ain't believe that, and so what about this and so forth. And that is what it did. It ministered more questions than godly edifying. But the thing about this is that these people, they just want to believe in these fables than turn into the actual accounts that was given unto us. Matter of fact, they don't even know the accounts given unto us, know the things that are written inside the scriptures, but they want to go into other fictitious stuff that will just lead them down astray, that will lead them down a path of no edification, right? Of not even knowing the truth. It will make them go more astray from the Lord than they have ever been. Because with the story of Lilith, the reason why women love that account is because they like to use it for the inception of being an independent woman. Because I believe one of the stories of Lilith is that she wanted to do her own thing and she didn't want to be underneath the man and all this other stuff, and she disobeyed and she was, that is what they like to hear. A fictitious tale, something that not there, right? But it seemed good, and again, it just go back to them having that itching ears. They go listen to people that would feed them the things they want to hear, not the things that they need to hear. Right? The things that they need to hear is the truth, not these fables. So as the scripture said, neither give heed to fables and endless genealogies which minister questions. And that's all it do. It minister more questions than anything else. Because now we have to ask ourselves, when these people bring up stories like the Lilith or the fallen angels, and those were things that also mentioned, the person was mentioning the fallen angels and the the giants and so forth. Now, being in the truth, sometimes you'll be around people and you don't even want to say anything sometimes, but in the midst of this, like as I said, I was just throwing out a little nugget here and there, and that was answering more. The little bit that was given out from me was answering more questions than what it is the other person was saying. So that's just to show you how important the truth is, and knowing this truth is such an important thing, right? But as I said, they talk about the giants and the fallen angels, which, as I say, those fables would minister more questions than answers, and that's what it did. Because now when you've mentioned that, someone will ask you, well, why are there no more giants here, or why the fallen angels not here, or whatever it may be, and then you don't have an answer, right? So what it do, which minister questions rather than godly edifying, which is in the faith to do. So that is what it did, minister more questions, right? But that is what you will get from a lie. A lie just bring forth more questions than answers, right? But these people so caught up in these lies, they believe it to be something true. So this is the book of 1 Timothy, chapter 4, verse 7, right? It says, but refuse profane and old wise fables, and exercise thyself rather unto godliness, right? Now, let me get this here, right? Old wise fables, right? Old wise fables. It means a widely held traditional belief that is now taught to be unscientific or incorrect, right? So it also say a old wives' tale definition and meaning. It say the meaning of old wives' tale is an often traditional belief that is not based on fact. So it's something that's not based upon fact, right? So why would they even believe in that story or in that account if it's something not based upon fact? But you see, with these people, it sounds good, and they choose to believe a lie. Let me go to something here quick. It even goes, it says strong definitions. It says silly, right? It says silly. Wow. And even when you look up the fables, right, in the Strongs, it means a speech, word, saying, a narrative story, a true, you say a fiction or a fable, an invention, a falsehood, right? You say through the idea of tuition, through the idea of tuition, and that is not what it's supposed to be following. You know, like they say, woman tuition, and that is be off, right? They say a tale that is fiction, myth, right? So yeah. So going back to the First Peter chapter 4, it say, First Timothy chapter 4 verse 7, it say, but refuse profane and old wise fables, and exercise thyself rather unto godliness. So that is where you're supposed to be exercising yourself in godliness, and where you will get that is in the scriptures, not no heresies, not no other. These people only believe in the dead scrolls more than any Bible. You understand? They believe in more into these fables more than the accounts given unto us. But again, that is written. That is what they're going to do. That is what they would do. They would believe in lies. Right? They would believe in lies. It said this is Titus chapter 1 verse Titus chapter 1, and I'll read from verse read from verse 13, right? It said, this witness is true. Wherefore rebuke them sharply, that they may be sound in the faith, not giving heed to Jewish fables and commandments of men that turn from the truth. And that is what you would get from these Jewish fables, these old wives' tale, these commandments of men. They would turn you away from the truth. But just like these which scripture that mentioned that? I think it's Mark chapter 7. Let me go to it here. Mark 7 verse 9 say, and he said unto them, full well ye reject the commandment of God, that ye may keep your own tradition. Right? And that is what they do. They reject the commandment of the Lord just so they can keep the traditions of men. Right? There's a particular one I'm looking for. Let me see if I see it here. Let's go back to verse 7. Say, howbeit in vain do they worship me, teaching for doctrines the commandments of men. For laying aside the commandment of God, ye hold the tradition of men, as washing of pots and cups, and many other such things like ye do. And many other such things like ye do. In a sense, so they lay aside the commandment of God to hold the tradition of men. Right? So going back now to the Titus, it say, not giving heed to Jewish fables and commandments of men that turn from the truth. And that is what they do. They believe in the commandments of men, and it turned them away from the truth. Right? So they will believe in things like these fables, these fallen angels, these giants, these Lilith, and some other stuff. Things that hey, they literally turn you away from the truth. Because all of those stories have a particular reason why it's told. It's a particular reason why it's outside there. Just like I mentioned, one of the reasons with Lilith had this woman thinking that independence and all this other stuff, she didn't want to be by herself and all these things, So yeah, so don't believe in these fables, don't believe in these old wives' tale, right? But hearken unto the truth, right? Is the truth is what going to save you. The truth is what going to deliver you. Is the truth what going to take you away from these lies? Right? Is scripture say the truth will set you free, not lies, right? Because once you believe in a lie, you start to believe in more, and that is what is going. That is what does go on, right? They would believe in one things, 1 minute they would believe in fallen angels, and then all of a sudden they believe in Satan fighting against the Lord, and then they will believe in giants, and then they will go to Lilith, and then they will go to something else and something else. So one lie lead them down the whole road, right? And then they will find from that they will listen to the teachers that teaching those stuff, and that's the next thing by itself, right? But again, hearken unto the truth, and don't hearken unto these fables, Right? So with that, we give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yoshai, Ba'ashem Kakodash. We say that when a person elders agree with that rule, but that teaches our person should. And we say salutations, so they act, so they pushing within our truth and sincerity, day in and day out, in a constantly in season and season, we say Shalom.